What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Combat Sports Media YouTube channel. This is your boy Seb, and in this video we're going to be talking about, breaking down, and giving out a prediction for the upcoming Saul Alvarez versus Terence Crawford mega fight. This fight will be taking place at super middleweight. It will be for the Undisputed Middleweight Championship, as many of you guys already know, and I actually don't exactly know where it will be taking place. I don't even think the fighters know where exactly it will be taking place, but from what I hear, it will probably be in Las Vegas, New York, or Saudi Arabia. But we'll see where it ends up. As of right now, I don't believe they have a venue. Now, let's examine Canelo. Now, Saul Alvarez, he's arguably the biggest star in the sport right now. However, in my opinion, whenever or as soon as Manny Pacquiao comes back, that title automatically goes to him, because Manny Pacquiao was and is a bigger star than Canelo if and when he does choose to come back to the sport. For as long as Manny Pacquiao is out of the picture, Canelo is the face of the sport, arguably, and he started his career, I believe, around welterweight. He stands around 5'8". He's won championships and titles at junior middleweight, middleweight, and super middleweight, and light heavyweight. Now, he is lately anyway, he is a come forward fighter. He likes to come forward with the high guard. Excuse me. He likes to come forward with the high guard, and he doesn't bend and move his waist as much as he used to. Canelo used to be a lot slicker when it came to his defense, in my opinion. He's a lot more stationary these days from the waist up, and he looks to come forward and counter you with heavy shots, with heavy power shots. He likes to load up on single punches these days. When he was younger, at 154 and at 60, he had a tendency to throw a lot more combinations. That's actually what he was known for at one point in time. He used to have great punch selection and throw great combinations from the body and head to the body and head. However, that has greatly diminished over the years, and he is arguably a much stronger and powerful fighter and puncher these days, but his volume for punching has drastically decreased, and it's just more one punch at a time. We rarely see 3 to 4 punch combinations from him these days anymore. Now, he has great wins over the likes of Miguel Cotto, Austin Trout, Gennady Golovkin, Sergey Kovalev up at light heavyweight. That was an impressive win, despite Kovalev being way past his prime. So I guess there's a caveat to that, but it is what it is. Now, he did lose to Floyd Mayweather a very long time ago, back in 2013. It was a shutout, in my opinion. And he also lost to Dmitry Bivol up at light heavyweight a few years back. Now, those are two excellent fighters, great fighters, and there's no shame in losing to those two. And what can I say? Canelo has carved out a great career for himself. With that said, in his last fight against the Cuban guy, he looked worse than ever. He was always a flat-footed, heavy, on his feet kind of fighter. He always had problems tracking fighters down and cutting off the ring. You could take a look at the Erislan de Lara fight from back in the day. I believe that was also around 2013. That was a very close fight in which he won a decision. However, Lara's movement and jab gave him a lot of fits, and cutting off the ring was always something that he was not an expert at and always had problems with because of his heavy feet. And now he's much older and much heavier than he was in that fight, for example, because that was still at junior middleweight or at that 155 catch weight that he used to like to do back then. So that's Canelo. When we go over to Terence Crawford, in my opinion, we're talking about the number one pound-for-pound fighter in the sport today. And I believe he's been number one pound for pound for a long time already. For many years. He's won championships at lightweight, and at super lightweight, welterweight, and junior middleweight. And now he's going to be jumping up 2 weight classes and trying to win an undisputed championship at super middleweight. He's been undisputed before at 140, at 147. His best win in most people's eyes, including mine, is that win against Errol Spence. But he has a lot of great wins over the likes of Victor Postal at 140 for the WBC 140-pound title. I think that was a great win at the time, and still do. Victor Postal is very underrated, and at the time he was coming off of a great win against Lucas Matisse, in which he won the world title. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that was a unification fight between the two as well. He also has a win over older past his best, Yuriorkis Gamboa, at lightweight, but still a good win. It was his first big win. And when I say big win, it was his first win over a name that everybody knew. You know what I mean? He got hurt in that fight, by the way, but he overcame it, and he ended up, he put on a memorable performance at the end of the day. So that's one of his best wins as well. It was his homecoming fight in many ways. So you got Gamboa, you got Errol Spence, Victor Postal. He also has wins over the likes of guys like Jeff Horn, Amir Khan, past his best Amir Khan, past his best Kell Brook. But at the end of the day, very solid resume. Sorry about that. Very solid resume. And like I said, number one pound for pound fighter today. And that has been the case for, I'd say, at least 5 years by now. So Terence Crawford, he's about maybe 5'7". I'm sorry, he's probably a little taller than that. He's like around 5'9". He can switch stances. He's very well known for that. And let's give credit where credit is due. That's what we do here on this channel. We give credit where credit is due. Terence Crawford is a hell of a puncher. Not only is it a great fighter with great skills and abilities, but he's also a power puncher. At welterweight, his knockout ratio was 100%. So, that says it all. This guy, in my opinion, has always been a cut above the rest when it comes to his generation. I can't say enough good things about Terence Crawford. He's also very disciplined outside of the ring. It seems like he's a gym rat. He's always in the gym training, whether he has a fight or not. Great team around him with Bomac as the head coach. I believe he also trains Keyshawn Davis, if I'm not mistaken. And his last fight was at 154, and a lot of people criticize him for the performance, but Madrimov, in my opinion, is very underrated, and he's a lot more fleet-footed and quicker than Canelo is going to be and has ever been. So let's move over to the prediction. I have to go with Terence Crawford. This is his fight to lose. Unless if he fucks up or something fucking happens, there's no way in hell I see this guy losing this fight. I don't even care if he comes into the ring at 150, which obviously he's not. He's already big and strong as fuck. So, and that's another thing. I don't see any advantages that Canelo has over him. Crawford's faster. Crawford's more athletic. Crawford has higher IQ. Crawford even might be stronger or just as strong. The only thing that Canelo has over him is actual weight. Like, he might weigh a little more, and it's not even as much as what most of you might think, because Crawford himself is already pretty heavy. So yeah, I don't see where the advantage for Canelo is exactly. And even if he didn't have a lot of weight over Crawford, to me that doesn't mean anything. In this fight, it doesn't. That would mean something if both fighters were close in level, but when one fighter is so much better than the other, being 20 pounds heavier doesn't really mean much to me. We saw Floyd beat fighters that were 20 pounds heavier than him all the time. We've seen Manny Pacquiao do the same thing for most of his career at welterweight. So, I mean, he even fought Margarito at a catch weight of 151, and Margarito was at least 20 pounds, I believe, heavier than Manny on that night as well. And, don't get me wrong, that was a tough fight for Manny, actually. So that's actually probably a bad example, but both Floyd and Manny have been dealing with people with immense weight advantages over them coming into the ring on fight night for a big portion, if not most of their career. So again, I believe that stuff matters, um, and affects the outcome of fights when both fighters are close to the same level. But if I'm much better than you, for example, then your 10 to 20 pound weight advantage doesn't really mean shit. I mean, we saw another great example, Floyd Mayweather against Oscar De La Hoya. Um, I'm sure Oscar had an immense weight advantage over him coming into that fight on fight night. At the end of the day, Floyd only weighed in at like 150, I believe. He actually came into the ring at around 151. And Oscar rehydrated to God knows what, probably around 165 at least, you know? So, it is what it is. So, there you have it, folks. I believe that Terence Crawford is going to pull this off. I believe he's going to win by most likely a unanimous or maybe split decision. It's most likely going to be unanimous. I don't think he's going to stop Canelo. Anything is possible, but I don't see that happening. Canelo has always showed to have a very sturdy and strong chin. So I got to go with Crawford winning by a decision. There you have it, folks. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. And more content coming soon.